Have you ever wondered what could drive someone to kill their own boyfriend and friend in a horrific car crash? What kind of relationship did they have? And what was going on in their minds before the fatal moment? In this video, we will explore the complete story of Mackenzie Shirilla, the teenage girl who was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison for deliberately slamming her car into a brick wall at 100 miles per hour, killing her boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and his friend, Davian Flanagan. This is a shocking and tragic case that reveals the dark side of love, jealousy, and revenge. Mackenzie Shirilla was 19 years old when she was convicted of 2 counts of murder, among other charges, in August 2023. She was found guilty by a judge, who ruled that her actions were controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. This was murder. But how did she end up in this situation? What led her to commit such a heinous act? To understand the motive behind this crime, we have to go back to the beginning of Mackenzie's relationship with Dominic Russo, her boyfriend of 3 or 4 years. They met when they were teenagers and soon moved in together at Dominic's home, but their relationship was far from perfect. According to prosecutors and family members, they fought frequently, broke up often, and made violent threats to each other. Mackenzie once threatened to crash her car with Dominic in it, which she ultimately did to end their tumultuous relationship. But what triggered Mackenzie to carry out her threat on that fateful day of July 31, 2022? What happened in the car before she accelerated to 100 miles per hour and crashed into a building without braking or swerving? And what was the role of Davian Flanagan, the friend who was in the back seat and also lost his life? Stay tuned to find out the answers to these questions and more as we unravel the complete story of Mackenzie Shirilla. The story of Mackenzie Shirilla and Dominic Russo begins in 2018, when they were both 15 years old and attending the same high school in Ohio. They met through mutual friends and soon started dating. They seemed like a typical teenage couple who enjoyed spending time together, going to parties, and posting selfies on social media. But behind the scenes, their relationship was anything but normal. According to prosecutors and family members, Mackenzie and Dominic had a toxic and abusive relationship, marked by frequent arguments, breakups, and reconciliations. They often threatened to harm each other or themselves, and sometimes acted on those threats. For example, in 2019, Mackenzie stabbed Dominic in the leg with a knife during a fight, and he had to go to the hospital. In 2020, Dominic slashed his own wrists in front of Mackenzie, and she had to call 911. They also accused each other of cheating, lying, and stealing, and sometimes involved the police in their dispute. Despite the violence and drama, they continued to live together at Dominic's home, where his mother and sister also resided. They shared a bedroom and a car, which was a red 2005 Ford Mustang that belonged to Dominic's father, who had passed away. The car was a prized possession for Dominic, who loved to drive fast and show off his skills. Mackenzie also drove the car, but she did not have a license or insurance. She often used the car to run away from Dominic or to pick up other guys, which infuriated him. One of those guys was Davian Flanagan, a 19-year-old friend of Dominic's, who also went to the same high school. Davian was a popular and outgoing guy who played football and basketball and had many friends. He was also a father to a baby girl, whom he adored. Davian and Dominic had known each other for years and had hung out together on several occasions. But their friendship turned sour when Davian started to flirt with Mackenzie, and she reciprocated. They exchanged messages and phone calls and even met up secretly. Dominic soon found out about their affair and confronted them both. He was furious and hurt and felt betrayed by his girlfriend and his friend. He threatened to kill them both and warned them to stay away from each other. But Mackenzie and Davian did not heed his warning. They continued to see each other behind Dominic's back and even planned to run away together. They'd also plotted to get rid of Dominic by either poisoning him or crashing his car. They discussed their plans in text messages, which were later recovered by the police. Here are some of the messages they exchanged. Mackenzie, I'm going to kill him. Davian, how? Mackenzie, I don't know yet. Davian, poison him. Mackenzie, how? Davian, I don't know, look it up. Mackenzie, Auk. Davian, or crash his car. Mackenzie, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Davian, do it. Mackenzie, Okay, I will. On July 31, 2022, Mackenzie decided to execute her plan. She convinced Dominic to go for a drive with her and told him that she wanted to talk to him and work things out. She also invited Davian to join them, saying that he was sorry and wanted to apologize. Dominic agreed, and the three of them got into the Mustang. Mackenzie drove, Dominic sat in the front passenger seat, and Davian sat in the back seat. They left Dominic's home around 11:30 p.m. and headed towards a nearby park. But Mackenzie had no intention of talking or apologizing. She had a different destination in mind, a brick building that was part of an abandoned factory. She knew that the building was located at the end of a long and straight road, with no traffic or pedestrians. She also knew that the building had no windows or doors, and that it was surrounded by a metal fence. She had scouted the location before, and had even sent a picture of it to Davian, saying that it was perfect. As they approached the building, Mackenzie accelerated the car to 100 miles per hour and locked the doors. She ignored Dominic's and Davian's screams and pleas, and kept her eyes on the road. She did not brake or swerve, and crashed the car head-on into the brick wall. The impact was so powerful that the car was crushed like a tin can, and the airbags did not deploy. The metal fence pierced through the windshield and impaled Dominic and Davian. Mackenzie was also injured, but she managed to crawl out of the car and call 911. She told the dispatcher that she had been in an accident and that she needed help. She did not mention that she had done it on purpose or that there were two other people in the car. When the police and paramedics arrived, they found a horrific scene. The car was unrecognizable and the building was damaged. Dominic and Davian were dead and their bodies were mutilated. Mackenzie was lying on the ground, bleeding and crying. She told the officers that she had lost control of the car and that it was an accident. She also said that she loved Dominic and that she was sorry, but the police did not believe her. They noticed that there were no skid marks on the road and that the car had not slowed down before the crash. They also found the text messages between Mackenzie and Davian and the picture of the building. They realized that Mackenzie had planned and executed the crash, and that she had killed her boyfriend and his friend on purpose. Mackenzie was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder, 1 count of felonious assault, and 1 count of aggravated vehicular homicide. She pleaded not guilty and claimed that she was mentally ill and that she had acted on impulse. She also said that she was a victim of domestic violence and that Dominic had abused her physically and emotionally. She said that she had tried to leave him, but he had threatened to kill her or himself. She said that she was afraid of him and that she wanted to end their relationship. She said that she did not mean to kill him or Davian, and that she regretted her actions. But the judge did not buy her story. He said that there was overwhelming evidence that Mackenzie had acted with malice and premeditation, and that she had shown no remorse or empathy. He said that she had manipulated and betrayed Dominic and Davian, and that she had taken their lives in a cruel and senseless way. He said that she had shown a disregard for human life, and that she deserved to be punished. He sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 15 years. He also ordered her to pay restitution to the families of the victims and to the owner of the building. The families of Dominic and Davian were devastated by the loss of their loved ones and outraged by Mackenzie's actions. They said that she was a cold-blooded killer and that she had no conscience or heart. They said that she had ruined their lives and that they would never forgive her, hoped that she would rot in jail and that she would never see the light of day again. They said that they missed Dominic and Davian every day and that they wished they could have them back. We hope that this video has given you some insight into this case and that you have learned something from it. We also hope that you have enjoyed watching it and that you have found it interesting and informative. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or requests for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you, and we appreciate your support. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.